house prices go up, current owners experience positive wealth shocks. House prices go up, current owners have collateral constraints that relax, and because of these two things, there can be large effects on consumption. I think this is a really nice paper that covers an important channel through which the housing market can affect consumption.
The question we take up in this paper is, what are the links that tie the housing market to household expenditure and household consumption? We introduced this home purchase channel, and you know, the interesting thing here is that not only did housing wealth move dramatically through these periods, but home purchases collapsed by about 50% from the mid-2000s through the financial crisis and stayed low through the Great Recession. What's also co-moving substantially here during the housing cycle with home prices and housing wealth are actually home transactions. And what we'll argue is that there's a fair amount of spending that's complementary to the home, and that the occasion of buying a home will generate a substantial amount of complementary spending. You see these very, very large spikes. The average home is spending about $200 a month in these categories, and you get spending about 5 times that level and staying fairly high in the few months after the transactions before settling down 11 months, within a year of the transaction. In the end, we find these very, very large spikes consistent with the idea that the home transaction is driving quite a bit of spending. What we're arguing is that these shocks and the substantial variation that's driving variation in home transaction is translating into a substantial amount of home-related spending. It's not just about spending that you can then, of course, take with you to the next property and reduce your spending on the next home. Obviously, there's differences. Furniture is more, portable. You can bring that with you, but even then, it's not always clear that it's going to suit your new space that you move to. So, just a preview of the findings: substantial increase, about a tripling of home durable spending in the year following home purchase, a doubling of home improvement spending. We find some small offsetting effects in other non-home related durables. Vehicle spending dips a bit, but not nearly enough to offset the overall spending increases that we find related to the home. Building is the primary category. You'll see electrical, mechanical, and plumbing categories as well. This differs a bit based on the zoning in a local area, but generally for larger jobs, you're going to see permits required in order to make an improvement or substantial change in the home. When you buy a home, you're going to spend a fair amount of money to tailor it to your tastes. The spending effects are large for the homeowners that we observe making transactions in our sample, in the building permit data as well. Aggregating it up, it looks like it's meaningful in terms of the activity in the housing market, smaller, of course, in terms of the overall macroeconomy. That's the results we have.